acceptable to the Lord, my rock and my redeemer. Amen. Please be seated. Boy, we got a lot of seats up here. As though somebody didn't want to hear what I had to say today. But I know you do. I know you do. Good morning to everyone. Thank you for all who came out on this holiday weekend. I know this is the last hurrah for most people. For most of the kids anyways, they're all going back to school, college, and whatever. So, since I wasn't here last week, I was at my home parish last week. I was invited to speak there and give a sermon there last week. So I don't know exactly what Father Mike preached. I know what gospel he preached from, of course, but I don't know exactly what he said. Today's gospel, again, just as a precursor to that, is Luke 14, 7 through 14. But the beginning verses, Luke 1 through 6, this is about a feast that Pharisees had put together. And at that feast, he also invited another person. And a person who had what they call the dropsies. Nice name, but and basically what the dropsies is that it's a type of edema. It's a retention of water. So we're going to suppose in this particular case that this gentleman, it was quite obvious that he had retention of water either through severe swelling or whatever. I get edema in my one leg because I've had so many surgeries, so once in a while it swells and goes down, swells and goes down. But that's what that gentleman had. So when Jesus was talking about, the people that were invited, to be careful where you sit or whatever, one would have to wonder, why did the Pharisee invite this particular person? I think he invited him so that he could test Jesus again. Because Jesus healed him. This dinner was done on the Sabbath. And Jesus healed this person again on the Sabbath. So I think the Pharisee was testing him again to see, would you do that? Would you break the law? Now last week when I preached, I talked about the law somewhat. I talked about the literal sense of the law and the intent of the law. So on the Sabbath, yes, Jesus did, in their minds, break the law. But in Jesus' mind, he did not. He upheld the intent of the law. And to go even further, it says that back at that time there was a lot of open wells, so if a donkey fell into a well or some other animal fell into a well, it was perfectly okay for you to save that animal, to work towards a saving. But they thought it was unacceptable to save a human being, such as the woman that was bent over for 18 years. Why would you save her? And this gentleman with the dropsies, why would you save him? So Jesus embarrassed all of them. He said, you can save an animal, I will save a human being. So there was no argument. So we talk about today's gospel lesson really is broken into two separate parts. It's humility, and the second part is about charity. We all need reminders of how to be humble. That's what God wants us to be. He wants us to be humble in what we do. I got a perfect lesson in humility on Sunday last week. See, you all have been telling me that I'm doing such a good job of preaching, doing sermons. Every time you go by the line, you say, "Oh, I enjoyed your sermon. I loved it." For the last 3 weeks, I haven't used any cards or cues. I have one or two little notes written on here today. And the reason I got some humility last week, at the 8 o'clock service, I got up in my home parish, stood up, got ready to preach, and was up for about 5 seconds. I forgot what I was going to say. I forgot what I was supposed to do. My brain disengaged and my mouth said, I am not going to work. I thought I had this down pat. I thought I had everything good. But boy, did I get humbled real quick. That was the longest and probably the hardest 5 seconds in my life, to stand up there in my home parish and not remember what in the world I was supposed to preach about. So, well, trust me, I will study harder. I will practice longer to make sure that never happens again. So you'd say, well, how do we become humble? Well, one of the ways you can, remember to be humble is think of how much knowledge that you have. Some of us think we have all the knowledge in the world, especially teenagers. Those around 13 years old, of course, they have all the knowledge in their minds. But if you think about all the knowledge, and even the smartest person that you know, think about all the knowledge that is in the world today. Our knowledge is only just a small part of all of that. It doesn't mean that it's not important. It doesn't mean that you don't know a lot of things. But in the vast scheme of the world, it's a small part. It's a very small part. Those of us who think that whether you're a golfer or the golfing term only because it's a simpler one to do an analogy on. You know, those who go out and think, I'm the best golfer that there is, and I know how to play this game, and I can do better than anybody else. But then they go to a professional tournament and they watch these guys and they say, I think I'm just going to bury my clubs in the ground because I'm done. I'm not even close to them. So that's another part of being humble. Another part of being humble, too, is to remember that all of us most of us had jobs at one time or whatever, okay? And all of us had the feeling that my job is important. That if I leave here, nothing's going to get done. It's all going to change. It'll fall apart. Everything's going to be done. Also, too, when we leave this life, you know, we think that there's going to be holes to fill, which there are, okay? But folks, even when we're gone, even when we decide not to work anymore, someone does step in our place. Someone does take over at our jobs. Someone does do all the things that we thought no one else could do. Maybe they can't do them as good as you. Maybe they can't do them exactly how you did it. But the job gets done. And that's another way that we can humble ourselves. But we know we're not perfect. And we know that things, you know, don't always go our way. The other part of this whole gospel, too, is about charity. When Jesus asked the Pharisees, he said, you know, be careful with who you invite and why you invite them. Don't invite your family, your friends, your relatives, your rich friends, all those kind of people. I look at this part of the gospel as looking at our charity. How do we do charity? As I said earlier, you know, why did the Pharisee invite this one guy that had the disease, the dropsies? Again, his motive was, I'm going to make an example. I don't think he really cared about this gentleman. I don't think he cared either about any of the things that was going to happen, but Jesus did. So when we talk about charity, I think there's 4 different types. And this is not Stewardship Sunday, so don't get panicky, okay? I'm not going into Stewardship Sunday. But just as our tithe or our givings, or other things that we do here at St. James, we can do it because it's our obligation. It says that we're supposed to do this, so that's what I have to do. And some of us may do it with that kind of tone. Jesus doesn't want givers that are regretful or, you know, their heart's not in it. He wants grateful givers. He wants you to be happy in what you do. Happy in your volunteering, happy in what you give, your tithe, whatever it is. He wants you to be happy. The other type of charity there is because it makes us look good. Okay, we go out and we volunteer. I'm not talking about it here either, just in general. We go out and we do all kinds of good things and say, well, this makes me feel so good. Look at me. Man, I'm doing all the things I should do. Aren't you proud of me? Makes me look good. The other one is that, you know, it makes you not only look good, but it makes you feel good. Like you're kind of getting ready. You're preparing your place in heaven. If I do this, I'll get this much. If I do this, I'll get another step higher. If I do this, I'll get 3 or 4 steps higher. So it makes you feel good that you're doing the right thing. I think the greatest charity of all is the one that you do because you simply can't help yourself. You simply, something inside says, this is what I'm going to do. Now, I drive my wife crazy at the outreach center because I can't wait for Thursday to come because we get the giant flyer, we get the Renders flyer, we get all these flyers. And I go down through these pages and I tell her, I said, honey, pantry, we can get this, we can get that, we can get this. Yeah, I hear you. I get all excited. Carol's not here or anything, but those who, when I go shopping, when they have that on the Tuesday nights or whatever, I love going shopping from the pantry. 2 weeks ago, they had the SpaghettiOs. They had them in giant, 25 cents a can. Oh, you can imagine. I just thought, 25 cents a can, this is the best. The problem was, you can only get 25 at a time. It's not a problem. So I got 25. Later in the afternoon, I went back, got 25 more. My wife went back the next morning, she got 25. I stopped on my way from work, got 25 more. So by the time we were done, I think we got close to 150. It was either 125 or 150. But at 25 cents a can, you can't go wrong, right? But I was all excited about this. I said, this is the best. I could not control myself. Not a bad thing, right? So it's not a bad thing at all. So then we look at the outreach center itself. Why is St. James doing the outreach center? Why are we involved in the Outreach Center? Why do some of you volunteer at the Outreach Center? I don't think it's because any of the first three things that I talked about, because it makes you feel good, or it makes you look good. Look at St. James. We have this big outreach center. Aren't we the best? We're the greatest. We're doing all these things. I don't think that's why we're doing that. I think it's because of the fourth thing. Because we cannot help ourselves. This is what we're supposed to do. This is what in our heart says that we should do. And we do it out of love. Just as God gave His only Son for our sins, He did it out of love. And I truly believe that St. James is doing the same thing. All you folks here are doing the same thing. You're volunteering for the same thing. You're volunteering and doing these things for love. And that's what we should do. And we should do that in every aspect of our life. I know it's going to sound crazy. Even at work. And trust me, I still work full time and I struggle sometimes. But if we go in with the attitude of love, we go in there with the attitude that, you know what, I can't help myself. This is something I simply have to do. But it also helps me to be able to do other things. Sometimes in your family you don't quite get along as good as we should. Okay? But look at it in love. Look at it in love. Everything in your life, look at it in love. Just as God did when He gave His only Son. So I guess the message here today is, think about when you want to be just a little bit I am. Humble yourself down a little bit. When you're doing volunteer work or helping somebody, or even if you see somebody, okay, think of the reasons why you're doing it. And do it out of love. Because that's what Christ would do for you. Amen.